What's up guys, Matt Prince from Royal Fitness. Now, there's been a few people getting back into training that have had pain in the knee. So a lot of the time you'll hear terms like runner's knee, IT band syndrome or ITB syndrome, patellar tracking syndrome. There's a bunch of different stuff that can go wrong. Essentially what happens a lot of the time when there's a lot of impact or a lot of it could be like from running or jumping or something like that, the knee can become quite inflamed. And basically the way it sort of works, a lot of the time the pain comes through this inside of the knee. So if I see if I can roll these pants up, pain will sort of come in around here. And it might be when you're doing, at the bottom of a squat, it might hurt, or if you're running, you might feel it in there. I've felt it in a bunch of different times over the years from a bunch of different things. Like when I used to do kickboxing, getting kicked, it would seize up that IT band and quad and sort of contract everything and it gets sore. From running, you get it, it's very common in running. People get it in lifting, jumping, all that stuff. So this is just something that I do as a mobility sort of drill. It's sort of self-massage, so self-myofascial release that can help it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at it from a few different angles, right? The pain here often comes from the IT band. It's not always, and I highly recommend getting it looked at from a professional. But in the meantime, doing this stuff, it's not going to make it worse. So doing it, it might help relieve some of that pain, or it might help, get you back on track to be able to train properly. But the IT band essentially comes up, starts at the hip, comes through the middle of your quad and your hamstring there, sort of down through the side. Comes around and joins somewhere in here on the front of that knee. And what can happen when you hear patellar tracking syndrome or like runner's knee, what it can be a lot of the time is the knee is not tracking straight, right? Because that band's so tight, sort of pulling everything across. You'll often hear people say that they need to strengthen in here, strengthen your glutes. I agree with all that. You should be strong and balanced all the way around. But at the same time, if you're strong and balanced and you've still, you've copped impact, you've been doing too much running or jumping too quick, you'll get pain there, right? So one of the things that I like to do myself is just foam roll. It feels nice. It doesn't, it's not high risk or anything like that, and might make it so you can get through a training session without pain. On that too, I would recommend if you have that pain is to stop doing the impact stuff, the jumping, the running, the sprinting, anything that hurts it. I would back off on that, focus more on like hamstring work and lower impact stuff. So it might be like sled drags instead of sprints. Things like that can be a good stuff. But that IT band gets tight, pulls the kneecap across, pain happens, right? So the first thing we'll do is we'll start by attacking it. Now, I often start people with one of these rollers, basically because it hurts a lot. You don't want to stick on this for very long. You want to get on something like this, like a meat grinder for your ankle, a meat grinder for your muscles. They're really tough. Something like that, like a rumble roller, is much better. Even a hard PVC pipe can be better, but you want to get in there nice and deep. So this is the way to roll it. You start up at your hip. I like to start with my right leg, so I'm doing my left leg. My left leg stays perfectly straight. My right leg points towards the sky, okay? So it'll look like a Turkish get-up position. I'm gonna roll back, touch the knee, come back up. I'm gonna just pass up and down. I'm gonna do about 10 of them or so. Feel out where it sort of feels a bit nasty. So for me, like here's sort of a bit angry, so I'll pass up and down. From there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start again at the hip, take that right leg, put it across the front. This is where it gets a bit harsher. The first one's sort of like a warm-up. So I'm gonna keep going, I'll do 10. I'll find that spot, so here's sore. I'm gonna start bending and flexing my knee. Okay, so I'm just moving my leg in and out, like so. Okay, so I'll do that for 10 movements, and then I'll start flossing up again. Start rolling up again. Okay, and I'm gonna do that 3 parts on my IT band. So I might find, hey, it hurts here, do it here, and do it here. What you'll find is it's like trigger point sort of stuff. So if you imagine you're at a masseuse, he's got his elbows digging in there, he's making you move. Same kind of thing, it's just not as intense and not quite as harsh. But that's what we're doing with the roller. So I'd recommend the rumble roller. If you can handle it, it can be quite nasty, okay? So that's part 1. So you've got your IT band foam rolling. That's a really, really good one. I find it helps a lot of people. I still always recommend to see a professional, whether it's an osteo, remedial, myo, anybody who can help you with it. That's always recommended, but a lot of people don't have the time, or they can't get in for a week or 2. This is stuff to do in between. Now, next one, quads. So the quads is another thing, right? I've talked about the knee getting pulled that way from the IT band sort of being the issue. If the quad's really tight though, same thing, it pulls up. It sort of feels like it's super tight through that top part of the knee sometimes for people. So the quad can be tight. So you can look at your quad stretches, you can do that sort of stuff, but you can also foam roll those quads too. And again, rumble roller would be a good one. But basically you're just doing it on the front. So knee out to the side, roll to the knee, roll to the hip, do it the 10 times, find your spot. For me, it's usually right smack bang in the middle, and I'll start coming up and down. Okay, so I'm gonna flex like that. I might find different angles there. take my foot to one side, take it to the other side. Either way, I'll do sort of 2 or 3 different spots on that quad and smash that right out. Now that's taking care of the front part of the muscle. You know, if nothing else, it feels good. It gets blood in there, gets it to relax a little bit, you know, and you should start to feel a little bit better. And if you do this pre-training, what you might find is you can hit positions a bit better. So you might be like super tight in your quad, say, and you're squatting to here because you're so tight. You loosen it up, you might find you can drop all the way down, okay? It just makes a big difference. Now, the next piece, the inside, okay? So sometimes, not always, this is a little bit more, a little bit rarer coming from this, but usually that runner's knee and the pain here will be caused from that outside pulling across or even the quad pulling up. But sometimes you can be super tight in here, right? Some people are so tight in their adductors and in through the, you know, the inside of their quad area, like that VMO sort of area. You might find that all of that tightness is causing another issue. So rather than just, you know, thinking it's okay, I like to just cover it anyway, right? So you're gonna get a bar, lay on the side, so I've got my leg flat, the bar comes up here, and basically I'm just rolling. You want a bar that has a bearing in it. You know, you can sort of use other bars if you need to, but I find that the good Olympic bars are better. So you start at your knee and you basically pass all the way up to your groin, and you're just up and down. Now, when you find a spot like here is nasty for me, you know, I've got some soreness in here, pushing in there, rolling up and down, I'll just pulse it up and down like that. It's no different to when we're doing that extension type thing. I'm just gonna stay on that area for a little bit, then I'm gonna smooth it out, go again. Find another spot, here's nasty, pushing in and out, going from there. Now if you're crazy and you want more, you can push down on here to get it, make it a little bit harsher, or you can put the bar up on that pinpointed spot, so you can use the collar here to make it worse. All right, and again, it's up to you with the level, but there is some crazy ones out there. But that's another one to get that inside of the leg type position. Now the last piece, this is the last one. So if it's coming from a tight glute, sometimes the glute can be the issue. So you might find that, say, if your glute's really, really tight and it's turning your leg out and you're running sort of funny, you might, you know, that's an exaggeration, but imagine you're sort of there, your knee's coming this way, but your foot's kicking out and it's all coming from the glute. A way to loosen up the glute, it's sort of like getting an elbow in there, is to really roll out that piriformis and glute max type area. So basically, I've got a cricket ball here, you can use a lacrosse ball. You basically sit up on it, so you're up on the side here, okay, and you're gonna roll around, find your hot spots. So go, all right, sweet, that's in there. I'm gonna roll, smash it out. From here, you might move your leg up and down, just hitting different angles. And again, all of these, you probably spend, I don't know, 40 seconds to a minute per sort of area. So you might roll up and down, you've got your 10 times, go the other one 10 times, get your flosses, you do 3 times. That might take a minute. And then you can hit your quad, hit your inside, hit your glute, about 2-3 minutes per side, and you're sort of done. So I always recommend doing these. It's 2 ways to foam roll that I recommend to my people. The ones who have the time, and most people do have the time, get to training 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, and do it, right? Just roll it out, get yourself mobile. There's a bunch of these videos that I've done over the past, or stuff we can help you with for specific areas, but it doesn't take long. So do it before training and you'll find you'll have better movement quality in training, right? Second thing, you can do it at home while you're watching Simpsons or whatever. You know, you can spend a bit of time. That's a really good way to do it. There's another way. If you're someone who like only has that hour 3 times a week to train, and this is, you know, a lot of the footy guys and stuff in the gym, basically they won't, you know, they just don't do it. I tell them to do it at home, they just don't do it, right? So I'll make them do it in between sets. So they might bench and then roll out their IT band, bench, roll out their IT band, and it's called a filler. So basically we're using it as a superset, but it's like a productive mobility drill to get there. Anyway, try that out. I hope that helps. Spend a little bit of time doing it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. With all of these mobility and injury type things, guys, I always recommend to see a professional. You know, it's all well and good to listen to this stuff, and it will help you. I can promise it will help you, but it's nothing like getting, you know, one-on-one treatment from someone who's there to help and fix you, basically. So if you have any questions about any of that, guys, let me know. Strength training wise, we can help you out. If you need any help, click any of the links around. You can hit us up, shoot us a message. We'll get you in the gym and start training you anyway. Talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.